Hello and welcome to our webinar on the SiteSwan website reseller program. I'm Justin, one of the co-founders here, and I'm very excited to share with you a very special presentation, how to overcome common objections when selling websites to small businesses. Now, this is designed to be an informative session that gives you great responses or rebuttals to the reasons or excuses that business owners might give you when you're trying to pitch them a website. So, before we jump in with 2 feet, I want to give you a little bit about SiteSwan, since a lot of you here are currently not resellers. SiteSwan is a website design business in a box. Yes, we've built the most powerful website building platform specifically designed for small businesses, but we're so much more than that. The reason we say business in a box is because we give you everything you need to start, run, and grow your web design business. And this session is a great example of that because we like to keep you up to date on best practices along with tips and suggestions. Remember, we have everything built in to help you identify those businesses that need a website and give you the tools to acquire and retain clients and let you instantly create fully responsive, fully functional sites in seconds without coding, and let you bill your customers automatically and keep track of client payments for not only websites, but reputation management as well. It's literally everything you need. And we're responsible for having served over 1,500 agencies, web designers, freelancers, publishers, entrepreneurs with our platform since our launch in 2011. And we have over 10,000 sites on the platform and are currently growing faster than ever. We're headquartered here in Long Island, New York, and where everything's overtaxed, overpriced. And all of our development, coding, sales, etc., everything is done right here in the United States. You have a high quality platform built from the ground up by people who are passionate about helping small businesses grow. Now let's discuss what's on the agenda for today. We're going to start by talking about the sales process and where the objection will usually first appear. And then we'll drill down to each of the 5 objections we're discussing today, starting with, I don't need a website. And then, it's too expensive. And then, I don't have time. And I love this one, I can build it myself. And then finally, I got a Facebook page. Then we'll wrap up with the Q&A as I promised, and save your questions until the Q&A section. We don't have to, you can, either way. We'll get to as many as we possibly can, but I'm probably gonna answer some of the questions that come up during the session. Let's jump in. Let's talk about the sales process to kick things off. Now, why are we even talking about the sales process? Because I want to do a quick refresher with you so you can better understand where and how this all comes into play. I want to put these objections into context for you so you can get a better sense of when to expect them. So as we focused on in a different webinar recently, where we looked at the 4 steps of the sales process, step 1 is really to introduce yourself, gain their trust, explain the process, discuss pricing. All of that is what we call the discovery call or the introduction. Next is the actual homepage design. The purpose of the discovery call is to get them to agree to do the homepage design, where you're actually taking some content that they provide you with and assembling a proper homepage. Then you do the one-on-one homepage presentation to walk them through your design/concept, at the end of which you will attempt to close the sale, collect the credit card, charge the customer an upfront fee right from your SiteSwan dashboard. You're going to get all of the objections usually in steps 1 and 2, which I've highlighted in orange here. Matter of fact, we specifically designed the process this way so that you can address them as early as possible and avoid doing any sort of significant work for the client until after any and all concerns they may have are alleviated or addressed. So let's get into the top 5 reasons. By looking at number 1, my business does not need a website. While business may be good today, no one knows what tomorrow will bring. And in this economic and pandemic climate, it's never been more true. Every business in every market and every industry needs a website to stay competitive, attract new customers, grow, and fend off the competition. In my opinion, you really need to further qualify this statement though. So when someone says, I don't need a website, really the best thing to say is, well, why? Why would you say that? So you can really dig into what makes them feel this way so you can directly address that core issue. They might say, well, we're a referral-based business. We've never done any marketing before. We get all of our business through referrals. Or they'll say, well, we're currently overbooked right now. We have too many customers. We can't even get to all of them. Or I've been in business for 25 years and never needed a website before. Why do I need one now? Regardless of what their detailed explanation or reply is, here are some reasons why every business needs a website. Let's go through them together. First, a website earns trust and builds credibility like nothing else that a business can do for themselves in terms of marketing. Next, a website offers current customers immediate and 24/7 access to important information about a business, like hours of operation, menus, contact information. Next, a website attracts potential new customers searching for related products or services nearby. Being visible in search when people are actively searching for what you offer is extremely important. A website allows a business owner to effectively and affordably communicate with their customers. Especially during this COVID time, I can't tell you how valuable a website is to businesses who are, whether they're open or not, to keep an open line of communication with their customers, to let them know what the heck is going on. Next, a website can actually generate leads and, of course, online sales. A website can help keep a business at top of mind for customers, and a website can differentiate a business from the competition, providing compelling reasons why a customer should choose them. There is no denying every business needs a website. Next up, number two, objection. A website costs too much money. I don't have the money. It costs too much. While traditional website design can easily exceed thousands of dollars for a basic website, SiteSwan enables you to create beautiful, professional websites for small businesses in a fraction of the time and therefore at a fraction of the price. With SiteSwan, you can satisfy businesses with even the smallest budgets. Nevertheless, it is important to address the prospect's concerns about price. So to do that, demonstrate the value of what you're offering by explaining all the benefits that are included in both the setup and the monthly service fee. Oftentimes, people think something is expensive because they don't understand what they're actually getting. You might look at you might go into a jewelry store and say that Movado, that's an expensive watch. But the reality is that there is value associated with it. Well, arguably, there is value associated with it. So when you understand the value, you justify the price. So let's go over what you might say is included in the setup fee that you're charging, which, by the way, can be anything you want. The website setup fee will include a professional website customized for your business, a 100% responsive design that works on all tablets, smartphones, and mobile devices, beautiful site imagery, professionally written content. You can connect their domain, publish their website. You might even offer to include their domain name, depending if you're going to secure it for them or if they already have one. Search engine optimization and fast turnaround, friendly service. That's all in the setup fee. Now in the monthly fee, review everything that you're going to be providing to them. Super reliable website hosting in the cloud, an SSL certificate for website security and encryption. That's what gives you the HTTPS in the domain name. Perpetual compatibility, ensuring their site will always work with the latest browsers, operating systems, and devices. Site login credentials so they can make their own updates whenever they want to. This is optional. If you choose to offer this, we do recommend you do it. Do it for you updates, which will save them time and headaches with actually making updates to the site on their behalf. Built-in real-time traffic statistics so they can understand who's coming to the site, how long they stay, which pages are most popular. Friendly, local, and reliable support, and of course, no hidden fees. Now, that's a very strong value proposition that should help you easily justify your pricing. And by the way, feel free to add as much as you want to this. Some folks will add quarterly conference calls to discuss how the business is evolving, to make sure the site is evolving with it, really taking a consultative approach. Others will offer like a mention on their social media page, or even pair it with our sister company, Ideal Directories, and give them a listing on their business directory website. The choice is yours in terms of if you're going to add anything additional to the services being provided. So I should have hit those buttons before. Okay, on to number 3. Common objection number 3. I don't have time, or I'm just too busy. So the two most important things to a small business owner are undoubtedly time and money. Running a small business is a very difficult task, especially with limited resources. Many small business owners wear multiple hats, handling different daily tasks, and they constantly struggle with time management. Even when a small business owner recognizes the need for a website, simply carving out the time to begin the process and devote their focus to it can prove to be a huge hurdle. Not having time or even knowing where to look for a website designer is a common excuse among small business owners. So what you need to do is you need to ease their concerns by recognizing that their time is valuable and that a website won't interfere with them running their business. Explain the simple approach you'll take and that you will handle everything from start to finish, including monthly updates so they can focus on their business. Explain how easy the process is and that it will require minimal involvement on their part, and offer to create this free demo design that we're talking about to get the ball rolling. Assure them that you can build their entire website quickly without dragging out the process or interfering with their day-to-day operations. Number 4, this one is my absolute favorite. I can build it myself. I got this. I can totally do it. I'm good. I see the commercials on TV. I know how to do this. Most small businesses assume that the only way to get their business online is to either hire an expensive design agency or try to build a website themselves. That's a big mistake. While the commercials on TV might make site building look super easy, most small businesses who attempt to create a site on their own quickly discover how difficult and time-consuming it can actually be. The majority of business owners are not designers and will abandon the process altogether, feeling frustrated, overwhelmed. So they try to discover the headaches and hidden fees that are involved in the process. I love the commercials that say, oh, it's free to start or $10 a month or whatever. It's never comes out that way. I've heard that horror story too many times. The problem with do-it-yourself websites is that they're often left incomplete, poorly designed, riddled with ads, which is a whole other story, and practically invisible to search engines and potential customers. Building a website themselves can actually cause more harm than good, because you really could end up sending the wrong message and just turning off potential customers. So with SiteSwan, you have the ability to offer your clients a professional website solution that they can be proud of without the expensive agency price tag, saving them time, money, and frustration. So if a prospect tells you that they plan on building a website themselves, you might want to start by politely asking, well, why haven't you already? To which they will probably say, well, I haven't had the time, or I'm going to get to it. Now, I started it. I have next week carved out. It's on my to-do list. I swear I'm going to do it. I'm really excited to get it going. But that's baloney. You have to ask them, well, then, as we say here, what makes you think that you're going to have the time now if you haven't had it yet? And explain the drawbacks associated with doing it themselves and the benefits, of course, of working with you. We're going through these fast. Next one, number 5. Overcoming objection number 5. I got Facebook. I'm good. Yeah, I got a Facebook page. No website. I'm good. I tell you, we have a local prospecting tool built into the platform. I'll do searches lots of times in different markets when we see potential leads come in. And I can't tell you how many times we see domain names that are being forwarded to a Facebook page, or literally they will list their Facebook URL as their website. Doesn't make any sense. So let's talk about this. So some business owners think that they don't need a website because they've got a company Facebook page. And while social media, don't get me wrong, is a great tool, it's a great marketing tool, it's certainly not a replacement or a substitute for having your own website. The best way to overcome this objection is knowing the differences and being able to convey them between a website and a Facebook page. So you know the difference between Facebook and a website, but sometimes that's difficult to clearly and concisely convey in the pressure of the moment. So that's why we put together a really good marketing piece on this that's available to you in the resources section of your dashboard, active resellers only. You can print it out, send it out as a PDF, heck, you can even customize it. This will equip you with a canned response that will overcome this simple objection. So like you and I know, again, why a website is not a Facebook page and why a Facebook page is not a website. But when you can break it down into a matrix kind of like this, really helps them nail down and understand with you what that's all about. Now, we do have other resources available to you that can help you address actually a lot of these objections in the resources section of your dashboard. I'm going to switch my screen to that right now. I'm going to show some of them to you so that we can look at them together. All right, so in the resources section of your dashboard, you have a screen that looks like this, and here's the one we just showed to you. Now, the first objection, kind of going sort of in reverse order here, was why every business needs a website. And what do you know? We have a resource document right here that helps you point out all the reasons to them. And again, you can print this out, PDF it, send it off to them, whatever you want to do, and it's ready to go. So if someone says, I don't need a website. Yeah, you do. Here's 5 reasons why every business needs a website. When you talk about your monthly and setup fees for the website, how we, being able to convey that effectively. Lots of resellers have just come to kind of internalize it, memorize it. However, for others, you can easily reference one of the sales sheets that we offer you. So here's a 1-pager and here's a beautiful 4-page brochure. I love this one. In the middle is like a huge screen with the mobile and the tablet. Looks really, really good. And we help you outline all the things that you get on page 4 of this in the back, so you can quickly go over that with the customer. This is a document you'll probably want to get professionally printed because it's on 11 by 17 paper that's folded down to 8.5 by 11. Some of our publisher, I'm recognizing a couple of publisher clients on the session today, and they're like eyes rolling, like, I know what 11 by 17 is. Well, a lot of people don't, okay? 11 by 17 is double 8.5 by 11. You fold it down to 8.5 by 11, all right? Gotta explain. So those 2 documents, super, super helpful. Someone says, I think I could do it myself. Here's a do-it-yourself comparison document that will break down how all the drawbacks of doing it yourself, all the struggles, the outcome, really, really helpful. If people think that it costs too much because they're accustomed to working, or speaking with an agency, well, here's a website comparison chart that talks about the difference between working with you versus a typical, much more expensive agency. So we're hoping to get all of the objections overcome using some of the resources that we provide you with. A couple of other things while we're here, we might as well touch on a couple of other details. From this resources section of your dashboard, you will also see, for those of you who are on board, 2 relatively new resources available to you, which allow you to properly convey to your clients why reputation management is a valuable service that they need to invest in, and also a cheat sheet for once they're signed up with you, being able to effectively communicate with every positive and negative review that comes through. Because that is very important that both positive and negative reviews get replied to. So those are the resources that matter, I think, most to what we are discussing today. There are a lot more. As you see, we keep scrolling and scrolling, and we could see a lot more. But let's hop back into what we were just talking about. Well, actually, we're kind of at the end here. Matter of fact, I think my next screen is to ask you about questions. We didn't want to drag this on too long. We know everyone has got a busy day ahead of them. So for those of you who are not on board with us, that's the link. You can get on board with us. For everyone else who is on board with us, thank you so much, and we love having you. Let's get to your questions. Objections is a popular topic. It does come up a lot. I know our support team does mention that some folks come in through support with questions. So let's see what you got. I'm going to go back to the beginning and see what questions came through earlier. Are you recording this? Yeah, hopefully this recorded okay. Let's see. We have a couple of folks asking about whether these objections often happen in person or on the phone. So the discovery call, so to speak, which we said was step 1 of the sales process, that's usually done, well, I shouldn't say usually, it depends. Obviously during this time, it's probably more common for it to be done over the phone. It depends what type of salesperson you are. Either the person who likes to be in person, face-to-face, or you're the person who prefers to be behind a telephone. You can reference more material while you're on the phone, perhaps do, last-minute research or figure stuff out while you're talking to someone. All depends on your personality type and your capabilities and what you feel comfortable doing. So it doesn't really matter which format you are getting the discovery call done, but that's probably where you're going to find objections. And one of the things, especially when it comes to price, one of the things we always stress to our resellers is to make sure that you cover price during your discovery call so that you can open up the opportunity for them to express any concerns about price so that you can justify it. Now, it probably wouldn't hurt to justify the cost anyway, but lots of times, especially if they've already talked to other agencies, they're going to be drooling when they hear your pricing because it's going to be much less than the competition. So you might not even have to explain yourself when it comes to price. So you can use that time for more constructive conversation. We have some folks asking about themes. So I don't want to get too off topic with what we're going to be discussing, in terms of objections in the sales process, but just quickly, someone's asking about themes for specific industries, a notary or notaries, notary public. I don't think we have one specifically for that, but we have lots of business services themes that could probably be very easily repurposed for a notary. Is there a cost to become a reseller, and what is that? You can definitely go to joinsiteswan.com. We have 3 plans to choose from to get started. Someone is asking if we can touch on reputation management tool. I would love to. I just want to stay on topic with this. If you have a specific objection to the reputation management service that you've come across, you can go ahead and post that. I'll try to address it. But I do want to stay on topic with overcoming sales objections for website sales. Someone is saying, how do I handle if they already have a website? So you're probably going to find, and I don't know if you're someone who's already on board or not, but you're probably going to find that that about half of your first 20 or 30 clients are going to be folks who've already got a website. At no point should you rule out the opportunity to sell a website to someone who already has one. We just heard some really good stories recently from people who are selling companies who have what honestly looks like a really nice website, but they're just not happy with it. Either they don't like the customer service they're getting, they don't like the ability that they have to edit the site, they're not getting fast enough turnaround time, the price could be too much. It could be all those things. There's a lot of reasons why businesses are ready for a new site. So, one of the ways to kind of break the ice with that is to ask the customer, hey, would you label yourself 100% happy with your current website solution? Very few people are going to say yes to that. If they say no, well, then certainly that's your opportunity to say, look, I would love to hear you say that you're 100% happy with a website that we build for you. A lot of our clients tell us that. Can I have an opportunity to show you what we're capable of? Of course, if they do say, yes, I'm 100% happy, we'll offer them to be 110% happy with their website. Someone asked if I missed the first couple minutes, will there be a replay? Yes, that is our plan to send out a video. Can you download and print or email the built-in real-time traffic statistics to send or give to clients? You can absolutely screenshot it. There's no problem with that. And what I think you're referring to, I'm just gonna, oops, what did I just do? I just hid all my questions. Okay, it's back. What I think you're referring to is if you're on a site, and this is gonna probably not be a great example because it's a test site, and you see the the stats tab, and you're going to get all the numbers about, how many people have come to the site, how long they stay, which page is the most popular. Can you download a print? You can certainly screenshot this and then share this with the customer. You can also set up Google Analytics and then grant them access to Google Analytics and measure the stuff through there. What about customers who want complicated components like a store or an appointment setter, etc.? So that's a great topic to cover during your discovery call when you kind of get a feel for what the customer has in mind in terms of their website. So I wouldn't necessarily automatically label things like a store or an appointment setter complicated. They're just perhaps a little bit more specific or advanced. So one of the nice things about this is that you do have e-commerce functionality built into SiteSwan. So you can set up someone with e-commerce functionality on their site, and there's no additional charge for that. You can also set up an appointment setter. We have a couple of support articles that specifically mention, I think, 2 or 3 different appointment setting tools that you can very easily integrate into a SiteSwan site. They either have very little or no additional fees to use those services. So definitely check that out. We have a question going back to price. How much should I charge my customers for a website? So there's really no rule on how much you should or shouldn't charge. You should perhaps do a little bit of research to find out what other businesses are charging for websites in your area. Generally speaking, though, if you can keep your price under $1,000, we kind of pitch the idea of selling a site for $500 up front, $50 a month. It's a great price almost any business cannot say no to. Over time, you might want to increase that price. But when you stay under $1,000, the real nice thing about that is you can collect the entire setup fee in one shot on a credit card. Most times, any small business would be able to have at least that much put on a credit card without having to spend 5 weeks kind of moving funds around. And the monthly fee has to be small enough that they don't stress over it, but obviously large enough to make it worth your while as well. So having something, I would say, I don't like to see people go much below $49 a month, but I think that it's a great place to start. So like a lot of times, $4.99 upfront, $49 a month will get you off on the right foot and get you some clients under your belt, and you can work from there. I will say that setup fee, you should probably limit to about 5 pages. If the client wants more pages than that, assign an additional fee per additional page. Could be 50, 75, 100, 150, whatever, something so that you can attach a value to doing the extra work to putting more pages together. Someone is saying, okay, we're getting a little off topic. We're talking about analytics. The analytics question about speed, definitely push that up to our support console, support.siteswan.com. Looks like you are an active reseller, and we'll happily address that question. On the topic of pricing, someone wants to know if the website pricing has been going up recently, staying flat, or what my thoughts are. I've seen the price go up quite a bit over the last couple of years. I sometimes hesitate when I deliver our suggested retail price of $4.99 upfront, $49 a month, if I'm perfectly honest with you, because I do feel it's on the low side. And watching what other agencies and companies are doing, I see a lot of potential to go up from there. So yeah, I would definitely say that prices are going up for website design. I'm no question on that at all. Let's see. Okay, here's another question. To prevent objections, can you please elaborate on what advanced components are available and add-ons like reputation management to offer? So the interesting thing about putting stuff out there for your customer before they ask for it is that you could end up selling them stuff that they don't necessarily need to have, that they end up thinking that they want, and then you have to charge extra for it because there's more work involved, and then they end up in a situation where they think you're expensive now. So even though e-commerce doesn't cost you anything extra, even though those processes for doing like online booking may not cost you any extra, it will cost you extra time. There's no doubt about it. It's going to cost you time. So most cases, best practice is to get the client set up with an informational lead generating website with about 5 pages, tell the world what makes them special. Let the client object to that. Let them say, well, let their objection be, well, I need more than that. I don't want just an informational site that tells the world how great I am. I want to do something specific with my site. And then you can overcome that objection with offering them the services. There's a long list of things you can add on, both that we recommend and stuff that perhaps we've never even heard of or know about, because the client might have turned you on to a very niche software or something like that you can integrate into the site. So it's difficult for us to give you a laundry list of that, but at any time as a reseller, you can reach out to our support team, say, hey, you got a client who wants this. What's a good response? And we can help you out with that. Have we actually gone through all the questions? Less than 45 minutes? That's amazing. I'm going to do a last call for questions. Again, I see some other stuff. If I'm skipping over your question, it's only because I want to stay on topic with overcoming objections. And if you don't have any, that's okay, because I don't want to keep you here any longer than you need to be. And if you want to talk about some other stuff on upcoming webinars, I'd be more than happy to. You can let us know and we'll happily address that. Any final questions on overcoming objections in the website sales process? I've personally sold a lot of websites to small businesses, managed folks who've sold websites to small businesses, trained folks who've built sites to small businesses. So if you've got something on your mind in terms of the sales objection in any way, please let me know. Going once, going twice. All right, we did it. With that, I'm going to wish you a very happy rest of the day and a happy rest of the week. Thank you so much for your attention and attendance. Thank you all my SiteSwan resellers for being a part of the family here. For those of you who have SiteSwan in their future, we look forward to working with you. Have a great rest of the day, nice afternoon. We'll talk to you all soon. So long.